Yes, finally we are live on YouTube. Okay, so last seconds before we start. Just maybe up to 10 seconds and we will start our today webinar. Great. So it's time to start. Hello, everyone. I'm very glad to welcome all of you on our Power HR course, the ultimate HR course. And today is just the beginning. We have class number 1. It's about presentation of the course and HR competency model that is the core of this course. Okay, so what's in it for me? Why someone should consider taking this course? Normally, it takes 3 to 5 years to get this much information, like in this course. But we decided to make a super intense course and fit it into about 10 months of total immersion. This is a course website, and let me introduce myself a little. My name is Mike Pritula, like here, like the name of our academy, Mike Pritula. And my first job was Alpha Bank. Now it's Sense Bank. I was a trainer and recruiter. I hired people and then I taught them how to be a salesperson in the bank and how to sell bank loans. I built a career in the bank. After being a trainer and recruiter, I became just a recruiter, senior recruiter, then HR business partner. And then I led this company. I started working at Starlight Media at STB TV channel. STB TV channel was one of the biggest channels in Ukraine and actually in Eastern Europe. We had almost 2,500 employees, which is quite big for such kind of company. We had one of the biggest production in the, I think, not just in Eastern Europe, but also probably in the whole Europe, because we did, I think, something like 30 full projects a year with up to 10 series. Yeah. And I started the job at this company as a head of recruitment and onboarding department, but very soon I became a deputy HR director and later HR director. And I spent 4.5 years at that company. I built company culture, the compensation benefit system, of course, talent acquisition and onboarding system, and others. Then I was asked to join wargaming company. It's a game development company. It was in Belarus at that time. And I started as HR business partner for the biggest, one of the biggest department. It was global publishing department. And after just maybe 1 year and something, I decided to try another career at wargaming, and I became total rewards lead for 3 biggest offices with 2,000 employees. So I was responsible for conducting salary survey in these countries, for building total reward system, for doing EVP research and EVP audit, and so on. Then I joined Preply company. It was like a teeny startup, small company, maybe 50 employees. And within just half a year, we grew to 100 employees. We built performance management system, culture management system, talent acquisition, onboarding, and other stuff. And then I joined Ideas company to do something similar to what I did at Preply. HR audit, formation of HR team. I had 12 employees in my HR team. Develop an HR strategy, start of culture management. I also introduced a lot of HR tools for core HR activities, for talent acquisition, for performance management, and others. Then I consulted PeopleForce, all-in-one HRIS system, how to build the very modern HR platform and what kind of features to include, how to organize some processes like performance management, performance review, and so on. And also I created Mike Pritula Academy. Actually, my first online webinar I conducted in 2011, 12 years ago. It was my first webinar, and the course was career coaching. And later I decided to teach my colleagues, like myself, HR, how to be better HR. I started different courses, and up till now, I have 115 courses that cover, I think, all HR directions. We have certification courses with HRCI. We have job professional courses, or how to say, professional courses like HR director, recruiter, HR generalist, HR business partner, people partner. We even have chief operating officer course, and we have functional courses like performance management, 360-degree feedback, and others. And we also have some what I call big courses, this kind of ultimate courses, which Power HR is, right? Because at the moment, actually, the very first try to build this big course was the course that the name is HR Formula. It was 25 webinars. Then I decided that 25 webinars is not enough to cover all the topics. So I launched another course, the Big HR course. And the Big HR course had 40 webinars. But again, I decided that even 40 webinars is not enough to cover all HR topics and to give all my tools and all my experience and all cases to my students. So I decided to launch this Power HR course, which now has 76 webinars. And I think that's exactly enough. So I'm not going to introduce even bigger course. I think 76 or something like that. Maybe we'll add something like maybe up to 80, but I'm not sure. I think this amount is just the perfect amount to cover every possible topic. So that's about myself, about our academy. For these 12 years, we already taught like 10,000 students from different countries. I even can't imagine how many countries we had, maybe 20-something countries among our students. Yeah, so a lot of experience. In my job and in my courses, I always rely on best practices and these companies. And actually, this list of companies is not just a limit, right? Because there are even much more other countries that we learn from and include their researches, their models, their approaches, tools, cases, and so on in our courses. Just an example of what I follow, and I recommend everyone in HR sphere to follow as well. About the homework or home assignments, in this course, after each webinar, you have your home assignment that you need to accomplish and to send via your student account, so I can check and reply and maybe comment. And when all home assignments are completed, we issue a diploma of completion. Like this diploma, it's how it looks like. And we issue this diploma on special platform. It's online platform because modern companies, they issue diplomas on special platforms. We use the platforms that some popular company uses as well, like Harvard University, also the client of this platform, Zendesk, Slack, Google Cloud, and others. And and that's it. So our course consists of 5 big, I call them modules, 5 big modules. And we start from Power Strategy, which will take us up to 11 hours. Then we will be talking about Power Recruiting and Sourcing, 17 webinars, Power Talent Management, 13 webinars, Power Motivation, and Power Troubleshooting. And these big modules, they cover all HR topics. Our very first module, which is Power HR Strategy, consists of following webinars or classes. Today, we are talking about course presentation and HR competency model, but next webinar will be about HR audit and audit checklist. Then HR strategy and a template for its development. Then HR budgeting, and again, ready-to-use file for HR budgeting. Then HR analytics and popular HR metrics, recruitment analytics and working with recruitment funnel, conducting surveys and examples of popular surveys. So actually, every webinar has its tools, examples, case studies, or something that you may use right away in your company. So for example, if we learn how to use survey, I share set of, let's say, 10 different surveys. They are developed on Google Forms, so you may just copy it and start using it right away. So you don't even spend time to develop your own survey. You copy existing survey, you modify a little, and you send to your employees to fill the survey. The same for other tools, like HR audit checklist. It's a template, you copy it and you just fill it. HR strategy, it's ready-to-use template, you just make a copy, you even have the example, pre-populated example, so you just change the information and make it relevant for your company. Then we have HR automation and HR processes. Then we will be talking about understanding the business, some basic business terms and approaches, then corporate culture, and then planning and optimizing headcount is the first model. Today, during our class, we will talk about what is Power HR, what is the specialty of the course, why the most important HR course or ultimate HR course. We will learn some modern competency models, and we will learn what I call HR taxonomy. So it's like a very big checklist of HR knowledge that you may feel and understand what HR needs to know to be the very well-developed HR professional. So let's start. What is Power HR? It's the course that consists of Power webinars. So after today's class, every next class I will call Power webinar. Each lesson is like a separate mini course on a topic. You will see that every Power webinar is very well prepared, is full of information, full of different tools, examples, and everything. Like, I really consider every webinar like a very small course on a specific topic, right? So it covers the whole idea of this topic. Each lesson, as I said, has practical tools like Google Documents, maybe Google Forms. Sometimes it's downloadable content. Sometimes it's links to some information. Sometimes it's some researches. Yeah. And each lesson has been improved over several years, because what I include in Power webinars is something that I taught over and over again for different groups in my different courses. Because for some courses like HR Director and HR Formula, I think for each of these courses, we had up to 15 groups. So imagine like one of the topic from our big HR course, I mean Power HR course, I probably taught this topic like 50 times. Let's say we will be learning how to conduct one-on-one meetings with employees. I have this webinar about one-on-one meetings in so many different courses, and I taught so many groups that I probably had up to 50 webinars about one-on-one meetings. So this topic is super polished in our academy, right? So because every time I prepare myself for the next webinar, I review the slide deck and I try to improve something. I try to add something, maybe modify something, maybe add some new ideas. And most of these webinars are very well polished and improved over the years, over several years. The class is prepared in such a way to give a comprehensive set of knowledge and tools on the topic. So when I consider one of the topic, I sit down and think what I need to share with my students to give them the clear understanding and picture of the topic, so they can not just understand, they can apply this knowledge in real practice to their company, or if they are consultants, to their clients. And by taking the whole course, you can cover up to 70% of the academy's knowledge. So as I said, currently we have 115 courses, and the information of these 115 courses, if we compress it and optimize it, all this information will be in this Power HR course. So just taking just one course, you are almost taking all of our courses. Of course, taking some of other courses is necessary, like HR certification course. They are completely different. Some specific course could have even more information than Power HR, but the main idea is that you cover the basic structure of all HR knowledge just with one course. Our training format, we start one time a week, and later, I think within 1.5 months or something like that, we switch to 2 times a week. We will have 2 webinars a week. Now we have just one, but later we will have 2 webinars a week. Each webinar is up to 60 minutes. It depends on the topic, it depends on the situation and a lot of different things, but it's usually up to 60 minutes. You will have home assignment after each lesson with check-in and feedback. So I check your home assignment and I give the feedback. I could recommend something to improve. I can just share my thoughts about your homework. And all of them are usually practice-oriented. It means that you do something in real life, not just virtually, but in reality. With your employees, if you don't have employees, maybe with your friends, maybe with just people you know, or just with information, but they are practically oriented. In this course, there are 76 lessons or 76 webinars, and in total, it will take us 12 months, almost 1 year to accomplish all of these 76 lessons, because we start with 1 webinar a week, and then we switch to 2 webinars. Yeah, this is a training format. This course, like many others of our course, are based on modern competency models. Actually, I'm tracking these competency models for several years. I think probably the first time I knew about these competency models was in 2010. I decided to learn what kind of competency models HR have, what kind of certifications, what kind of information I could learn to be the best possible HR. And I discovered that among all of HR information, HR competency models, and everything, there are top 3, like this, top 3, that are the best developed and the most popular in the world. So when it comes to HR competency models, I would say general HR, because, for example, if we are talking about total rewards, there is World at Work competency model. If we are talking HR business partners, there is Human Capital Institute competency model. For recruitment, could be something different. But for general HR, for all HR, there are 3 most popular competency models, which are HRCI, Human Resources Certification Institute, SHRM, Society for Human Resources. They were actually like a single company, but later they decided to split and to be separate companies with separate competency models. And CIPD, which is, I would say, more European, but is well known as well. Not so popular in the world, not so popular in the United States, very popular in United Kingdom and some European countries, and I think maybe in some Asian countries, but not well known in the whole world like HRCI or CRM. But nevertheless, they have quite interesting competency models. These competency models, they are organized or presented in different forms, but usually they cover some hard skills of HR and soft skills, behavioral skills. So if we learn every of this model, like from HRCI, from SHRM, and from CIPD, imagine if we combine all these three models, we will build the most developed, most covered by different HR topics competency model, like a universal one, which I tried to do firstly in 2014. So I sat down, I downloaded, they are available online, so you may download it, it's super easy. I downloaded all these three competency models. I also was looking for others competency model, but these three was enough. And I compared them and I tried to create my own competency model, including all these three. And I also decided to add something from myself because I saw some lack of information, lack of topics in all these three competency models. For some reason, they didn't include everything. As a result of combination and comparing this competency model, I built the large map of competencies for different HR professions. Let me show you this file. And this file will be available for yourself by this link. Actually, if you see this kind of text in my presentation, which is underlined and in this color, it means this is a link and it's clickable. So I recommend you, when you watch this video in recording in your student account, you have access to PDF presentation, click the link. Okay, so right now you can't click the link because it's just a video, but when you have access to your student account, there is a presentation in PDF format, so you may even download the presentation and save for later, or you may print it. Also, always click these links. So what I built is following. First, let me show you competency models. So what I did, I compared all three competency models, CIPD, SHRM, and HRCI. Then I took their description and built this competency map, this description of competencies. So I reworked all the information. I combined it in my own way, and I also added something from myself. So here you have the source, and you will find that some information I couldn't find, so I added by myself. So here Mike means that I added something from me. Yeah, and now here you have the biggest possible HR skills taxonomy, so you may understand what actually possible you may know about all HR topics. Is organized by hard skills and soft skills. So the very first column is about a division on hard skills and soft skills. And actually you see how many information here, almost 200 strings. Hard skills, soft skills, then you have this category. It's organized by topics. Then you have, in each category, you have sub-direction. And then you have 4 different descriptions. It means that you will understand, for example, if you take budgeting, you will see that for budgeting, we have basic knowledge, moderate knowledge, deep knowledge, and expert level knowledge. So when you want to spend some time and understand what the level of your knowledge is or are, you may read all 4 statements and check the box which you think is true about yourself. So imagine I believe I really know everything included here, here, and here, and actually here, so I check this box. But when I read about staff records, for example, I understand that I only know first 2 columns. I don't understand what is written here, or I do understand, but I understand that I don't have enough knowledge of this. So I check this box. It means if I check this box, it includes the first one and the second one. And if you do the same for all of these topics, you will find evaluation results. You see that now it has some changes, some information, and you will see the overall assessment, both for hard skills and soft skills, and for every topic. So if I check only 2 boxes, it's just basic, but if I check even more, it will become moderate or deep or expert. And then you have overall rating of all your knowledge. But that's not everything. So let me uncheck this box. Also, we have competency map for 40 different HR professions, like, let's see, HR business partner, happiness manager, people partner, CHRO, organizational development director, HR director, head of HR, and others. All these 40 titles are divided by job families, like employee relations, general, HRIS, L&D, shared services, staffing, total rewards, and by grades, from lower grade to upper grade. And for each job title in HR, you have all these competencies and required level of the competency. Actually, I see that this one should be translated. Yeah, it's let's say it's beta version. If you see some mistakes, just let me know in our Telegram chat. So, for example, if I'm HR director, I see that I need deep knowledge of company business. I need moderate knowledge of company finance. But if I'm HR generalist, I could not have knowledge about company finance. It's not required. And you see different levels of requirements for different positions and different competencies. So this is how you may assess yourself. It's actually how it started and how our courses was developed. We always try to cover all topics, to focus on all directions, and to include everything possible in our courses. We very often ask our students what another topic we should include. Also, I developed kind of HR tracks. It looks like subway station map, and it has different directions, different tracks, like total rewards track, like talent acquisition track, and so on. And based on this, actually, we developed our 115 courses. Power HR, again, it includes almost all possible topics and is divided by modules. Power strategy, you already know what's included because I read it earlier. What's in power recruiting and sourcing? In this module, we cover recruiting itself in general, how to prepare for candidate search, searching for candidates. We learn Boolean search, which is part of sourcing, social media search, like search on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, YouTube, and others. Candidate sourcing, search, and here we learn how to use, for example, X-ray search. Search on popular sites, like up to maybe 50 different websites. Sourcing tools, like different plugins or platforms. How to search for contacts, how to contact candidates, how to assess candidates, how to conduct an interview, how to do sales and recruiting, just to sell the idea of position, how to make a job offer and deal with counteroffer. We also have employer brand, HR marketing tools, and referral program here. Then power talent management. It's about employee adaptation or employee onboarding with employee onboarding checklist with different tools, OKR system, which is objectives and key results, how to conduct one-on-one meetings, employee coaching, employee feedback, evaluation of results, competency assessment, performance review conducting, employee training, employee talent, how to assess their talents, how to build the development plan based on talents, the concept of A-player employee, how to develop employee development plan, and mentorship. Then we have power motivation module. It's about people management, how to introduce people management concept and tools for managers. Because, We only can do our work when our work is backed by managers and supported by managers, because like a lot of this can't work without managerial support. You can't introduce OKR system without managers setting OKRs or helping to set or approving OKRs. Then executive training, so actually how to train executives, internal communications, employee motivation, the concept of motivation, and the modern approach to motivation, because there are so many different researches like motivation 3.0, total motivation theory, Maslow theory, Getzberg theory, and so many different theories. Employee loyalty, what we call ENPS, what we actually measure by NPS, right? Employee engagement, and we will learn how to use Gallup Q12 questionnaire. Employee experience, again, Jacob Morgan approach to employee experience, employee journey map approach. Employee burnout, which is a super popular topic. You remember that actually people burnout was considered as a pandemic before the COVID. And I think it is now a professional illness. Employee well-being approach, recognition of achievements with different tools, total rewards concept, and we will learn the world at work concept for total rewards, salary management, how to do this, job analysis, job grading or job evaluating, and we will learn how to use tools. Actually, we have our own tools for job evaluating that I will share. Salary market review, how to do that, how to implement KPI system and bonus system and social package with cafeteria plan approach and employee options. I mean, employee stock option plan. Then power troubleshooting. Here, we will be talking about dismissal of employees, how to dismiss, who to dismiss, employee retention, some strategies, some measurements, teamwork, how to build efficient teamwork, the approach to teamwork, team dynamic, team building for teamwork, organizing effective team meetings, corporate events in the company and their role, and some approaches. Project management. So the modern approach to project management, because a lot of work in HR is about project management. Organizational development tools, different type of interventions on different levels, from job level up to company level. Dealing with organizational structure, what factors to consider in building or changing organizational structure, different kinds of organizational structures, network organization, and so on. Spotify approach for building organizational structure. Then company strategy, the approach of one-page strategy, the modern approach for building strategy. Process description, right, with all these flow charts and tools and the approach. Change management, which is very important, right? We will learn John Kotter, I think, approach to change management. How to work with IT companies and their peculiarities of work with them, which is very interesting, because so many even non-IT companies or non-tech companies, they try to learn something from high-tech companies. Working with IT employees, or I would say highly skilled employees, because their persona is quite similar. Of course, working with remote employees and HR trends. So this is topics that we are going to learn on our course, and also to help yourself, let's say to prepare yourself for this course and just to have the overall assessment of everything you know, and to make it a little bit easier than to fill this big file that I showed you previously. We have this, let's say, universal HR knowledge checklist. It's also in the form of a ready-to-use file. I'm giving you a link, and to fill the file, you need to make a copy. So let me show you. Where is it? Here is a file. It has 3 different languages. So you choose English version, And to fill this file, you click File, Make a Copy. As soon as you made a copy, it's your own version. You may work with this. No one else can see this until you share the file with someone. So you may check after you copied that no one has access to your file. And here, it's very easy. You just read these statements, and if you agree it's something you really know, you check the box. That's it. So you check the box every time you see you know the information, you understand the approach. And it's easier to read. It has less information, right? Just 600 strings, but just one column. Not like this. Here you have to read, let's say, maybe up to 10 times more. Maybe not 10, but I think at least 5 times more you will need to read here. And it's like a very detailed. But here, just well organized. Again, it's compressed and it's the most important information. So you just check all these boxes and you see what you know by our modules, by these modules, right? And general assessment. And you may be sure that all these topics are covered with this course, because this course is built around these topics. So on every hour Power webinar, you will see the agenda of the class, which is built from these themes. And at the end of every Power webinar, you will see the part of checklist to check your knowledge after the webinar. So you make sure that you know everything that was in this list. Okay, coming back to my presentation. So if you are not on this course, because I'm going to publish this video on YouTube, and I assume thousands of people will see this video. And if you are not on this course, you may choose the standard participation or participation by modules. You may also consider including different packages like preparation to PHRI exam or SPHRI exam as well. And now the very first homework for all of participants of this course is to pass or to fill our HR knowledge checklist and share the file with myself and send it via your student account. To share the file, you just click share and choose anyone with the link, and you copy the link. After I checked and you received the confirmation that home assignment is checked, you may unshare it. You may change to restricted, and only you will remain the access to the file. So just for me to check, and that's it. I will not share your file with anyone at all. So this is a homework or home assignment for this webinar. What's next? Our next webinar, we will talk about HR audit and audit checklist. Okay, that's it. Thank you for your attention. I'm very happy to have you as a student, and I wait more people to join our course and to accomplish it. So happy to launch this finally in English. And yeah, see you soon. Again, thank you for your participation.